Hello, FBA members, and welcome to the Trimester 3 draft analysis. I'm here with Kevin.
Hi, guys.
And let's just get right into it. So, first we have Cross-Atlantic Crawdons. I'll start us off this time. So let me say that usually, I'd give our team, I think I'd give our teams, the Cross-Atlantic Crawdons, I'd give us a pretty good rating every time. I feel like compared to other teams, though, our team isn't that good. It's fine, but let's just go down the team. So we got Blacephalon, Crawdon, Breloom, Galarian Weezing, Glastrier, Steelix, Mesprit, Kamala, Mega Manectric, and Goodra. So obviously this team is going to be relying somewhat on Trick Room. We got Mesprit as a Trick Room setter, and that's it. we wanted to draft more Trick Room setters, but we didn't get any, so we just got Mesprit, who can set up Trick Room for Glastrier and Crawdon. It's not the worst though, because Glastrier can do stuff outside of Trick Room. It is super, super bulky. And obviously it'll be supported with, my more defensive Pokemon, as well as, Intimidate some Mega Manectric. We got Steelix for hazards, as well as Mesprit. And they'll be good for getting things in range of Glastrier attacks, as well as, maybe a +2 Crawdon Aqua Jet or the Cephalon Specs or Scarf Shadow Ball. So the team is basically a very, very offensive team, with, the main offensive mons being, our tier 1 and 2s, as well as Glastrier. We also have Goodra and Mega Manectric as a pivot. Mesprit can, get up rocks, maybe Trick Room and U-turn out. We got our walls in Weezing, Galar, Steelix, and Kamala. So overall, this team is definitely strong, and I feel like if you don't have mons that can handle our offensive output, then you're probably not going to win. If you can't handle a Blacephalon, then you're probably losing. But if you do have a consistent switch into Blacephalon, which we'll use Mana Buzz as an example, because no one even drafted Mana Buzz, which is good for us. But if any team has a Mana Buzz, that shuts down our entire team for the most part, just because Blacephalon can't do shit. And Blacephalon's our main way of doing damage, unless we run Specs Overheat or Specs Mind Blow or some shit. It's going to be a lot of hazard stack pivoting and then firing off some choice specs or choice bandit hits depending on who we're using. Of course, some weaknesses of our team is obviously the speed tiers. We have Mega Manectric at 135, and then after that it's Blacephalon at 109 or something. And then after that it's Goodra at base 80, or no, Mesprit. No, Mesprit's also base 80. So yeah, it's looking very sussy, but it's looking kind of sussy.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I think a lot of our very offensive Pokemon are kind of frail.
Yeah.
Most specifically Blacephalon, Crawdon, and Breloom. But I do think we have some other bulkier options, like the Horse, Goodra are both very bulky. Mega Man's a nice pivot. Overall, I think this team is pretty hyper offensive, because it's a lot of really offensive Pokemon that can set up or run choice items.
Yeah.
And then I guess you can set up screens with Manectric or something. And then there's a Trick Room option, so we can run Trick Room, because we do have 2 or 3 Trick Room options as well. I still think we have. It's bulky enough. It's like a Cresselia Light.
Yes, but it's the only setter we have.
Anyways, I think there's a decent. No, but I also think that you don't have to run Trick Room every week.
Yeah.
I think there's still a decent-ish defensive core.
Yes, I think we definitely got good value out of our defensive walls. Obviously we have Goodra plus Weezing, Galar plus Steelix is very good synergy with each other, especially for low tier picks.
Yeah, but I also think Mesprit's also very nice defensively.
Mesprit too. Yeah.
I think Glastrier can eat a few hits.
Yeah.
And I think Kamala can run a pretty nice Assault Vest set.
Yeah, which will definitely be nice if we're facing a special attacking Ghost, because we have no other Ghost switching, so.
Right. I think that we do have some good pivots as well.
Yeah.
Mesprit and Kamala get U-turn, and then Manectric gets Volt Switch as well. So it has some nice things running for it. I'd say overall it's probably not the most cohesive one.
Yeah, I think if we can kind of end the battle quickly with, hyper offensive stuff or just, switching and setting up hazards, then it'll be fine. But in any long drawn out game where the opponent has good switch-ins to our offensive options, we'll probably end up losing. So.
Yeah, like I think this team definitely drops to like stall.
Yeah. Or honestly, just any bulky offense that like has good counters to our offensive guys, because like we can't heal our guys besides like Kamala Wish. Like I don't think Mesprit gets healing besides like Healing Wish.
I think it might get Healing Wish.
Yeah, it's just Healing Wish though. Last year, Steelix and Weezing don't get healed besides like Pain Split on Weezing, and then Gudra doesn't get heals besides like Rest. So yeah.
Well, I think the point was that we weren't drafting bulky offense.
Yeah, but I was saying how in terms of low tier walls go, we have a really good core. The only problem is they can't really recover.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. But I think that there are enough offensive Pokemon to the point where if we play it right, then like we could like potentially break a hole in a team with one and then like sweep with another. So like let's say like
that's what Hyper Offense does. But the problem is like
exactly.
we don't have the speed tiers for it.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, like it's not good Hyper Offense. It's alright.
Whoops.
Whoops. Well, guys, I guess that's all.
Hey guys. That's it.
But I think we can give this a 6 out of 10, maybe?
I'm willing to give it a 6.5.
What's the point of doing it out of 10 if we're going to use decimals?
Dude.
Fine, 6.5. Alright, tell us about the motherfucking...
The Slam Regenerators?
Slam Regenerators.
Yeah, this is a very core-like team, as usual. I'm gonna go on a huge guess and say that Core built it. That's just me though. So we have the classic Core Garchomp, and it's paired nicely with Rotom, Sylveon, Greninja, Celebi, Braviary, Toxicroak, Dusknoir, Scissor, and the Z-Manectric. I like a lot of these picks. I think that Garchomp, Rotom, and Sylveon are super solid as like a core, and then Greninja and Celebi are pretty good tier 3 value picks in my opinion, especially because you get Celebi as like a bulky grass for like base 100 on all stats. That's pretty good for a tier 3, and it can like recover and be offensive and defensive.
Yeah,
Greninja is like, you see it every time, but it's like it's not something that you worry about in team building because it doesn't have Protean anymore, but it's good for speed control, I guess.
Yeah, as well as hazards. Or you just slap a Specs on it and just blow something up with Hydro Pump.
Yeah, but even then, like,
it
what is it, like base 100 special attack?
It's still
like that?
a base 120 attack with a Choice Spec still is a lot, so.
Oh, it's 120?
No, the base 120 as in like Hydro Pump is base 120.
Yeah, of course. The tier 4s I'm not too high on because I think that this team can really... I don't know. I don't know how to feel about these tier 4s. I feel like I don't see a lot of... I guess they're just good. Like, I don't have much to say about them.
Yeah.
Tier 5 Dusknoir. I mean, it's Dusknoir.
What the fuck are they doing, bro?
That mon.
Dude, why are they using fucking Dusknoir? Dusclops is right there. Look at this ugly ass fucking motherfucker. Why the fuck are they using this shit?
And I'm like, the Dusclops was right above it.
Dude, why? Why would they ever use Dusknoir? It's so fucking bad. It's the worst Pokemon in this entire draft page. Like, try to look at the other tier 5s. Stoutland is great. Audino is great. Pikachu is going to be amazing. Rotom Fan's pretty cool. Shiinotic's great. Kamala's great. Dunsparce honestly is better than Dusknoir. Dusknoir is fucking ass.
Yeah, Dusknoir is a hated child of a fully evolved Pokemon. Anyways, and then obviously Scissor and Manectric. I like this team overall. Like, you have a nice Fairy Dragon. That is true. Fairy Dragon Steel, right? Garchomp, Sylveon, Scissor. Firewater Grass, right? So obviously built by Core, so there should be those. I think the tier 4s could have been a better use. I think they drafted Exploud and then traded it away.
Yeah.
Which I would have kept Exploud.
Braviary is good though.
I mean, X-Cloud as a tier 4 is I like that over Braviary.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me.
To be fair, we did draft Braviary first trimester and didn't do much for us, but
yeah, Braviary was not good, guys.
Well,
like,
it wasn't good for us.
Choice stands. That's like it's not a good mod, guys. It should be tier 5.
Oh, definitely not. First of all, and second of all, I mean, I don't think it was bad. It's just that we didn't bring it that often, just because it didn't have good matchups.
Because it was bad.
It just had good matchups, bro.
No, dude, its speed sucks balls.
It's base 80.
Like, this thing...
It's fine.
No. But for a mon that you want to run a choice band with, it should be a little faster.
It's a tier 4, bro. It has like base 130 attack.
All right. Well, maybe I'm just a Braviary hater.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't really have much to say about this team because it's really standard, and we've already talked enough about core teams to know that a core team is a solid team.
Well, I don't know about that generalization.
dude. I mean, like, look at the ones above. Like, they're all not bad. I mean, the first one was first one was a little sus.
Modern day core teams are better. Like, I'll say every core team prior to season 8 was kind of shit. These core teams are very clearly core teams, but they're definitely improvements on his old teams. Yeah, I do think this team, it's definitely all right. He doesn't have any real dedicated walls, but he does have very good synergy among his bulky offense bonds. Obviously, Sylveon could be a wall.
That's a core team.
Yeah, that's a core team, yeah. But in his old core teams, he didn't really have like things that could heal for the most part. But now he's got Sylveon who can at least wish, Scissor can use Roost, Rotom he can use Pain Split. He's got Garchomp, which is super bulky, and he'll love those wish passes. And he's got
Dude, he's got Dusknoir, that's super bulky.
Oh. Dude, Dusclops would be great. The grace period's over, so no Dusclops for you. But yeah, overall, I mean, as Kevin said, it's a pretty standard modern day core team. In terms of some weaknesses, he doesn't have the best speed tiers are alright. I mean, he's got Gren, and then below that is Garchomp. That's pretty much it. Besides like Manectric or something.
I think after Garchomp, no. It's Gren, then
isn't it Manectric? Yeah, 105, and then Garchomp.
But then it's Chomp. Then it's Celebi.
100, yeah.
And then there's some like.
Okay, I mean.
And then it's Rotom. No. Yeah. Celebi's fine. And then Rotom's like 86.
86,
right?
Yeah. Yep.
It's not bad.
It's fine. I mean, he's got pivots too, right? Greninja gets U-turn. Rotom Heat gets Volt Switch.
Greninja, Rotom, Celebi. And Scissor.
And Sylveon. Baton Pass. Scissor U-turn.
That's not a true pivot.
It's a good pivot, bro, because it's a slow pivot, like Teleport. Definitely a solid team. I don't know, there's not much to say about it, besides the fact that Dusknoir is complete shit and it's a complete useless spawn, and I don't see a case where you ever bring it. What's the set? Like, it's either Assault Vest with 4 attacks, or like bulky without Assault Vest, you need to use leftovers like Will-O-Wisp Pain Split. The Assault Vest set, you're gonna click Ice Punch on a Landorus, and it's gonna do like 30%.
You do 30%.
30%. And you just can't do shit. So you can only use stuff, I think, like Will-O-Wisp Pain Split. But like...
Also, there's
at that point, just use Dusclops. Wait, what?
There's no Trick Room Bees around this team.
There's no Trick
Room. That's what Dusknoir does. It sets Trick Room.
Don't say that's what Dusknoir does, as if Dusknoir does anything, bro. Dusknoir is shit. Dusknoir doesn't do anything. It's just a worse Dusclops. Anyway, I think it's definitely a solid 7 out of 10. Because, I mean, the reason why...
I'm giving this a 7.5, and then I'm discounting half a point for Dusknoir.
That's fair. And obviously we didn't say too many like bad things with this team. It's just that nothing really sticks out, and there's nothing on this team that's super threatening.
It's a core team.
It's a core team. Yeah.
Next line.
Next, this is I don't see it at the top. Is this DTD?
Yeah, it's DTD.
DTD. Yeah. Kevin got the predict right. He said Tapu Koko, and there's a Tapu Koko.
Dude, I knew it.
But it makes sense. This team looks very Gen 7 UU. Gladius, Scissor, Crocodile Core. He's got the Moltres, which we saw in Gen 8 OU. Did some crazy stuff with heavy duty boots and just flame body walling like Urshifu and shit. Not walling Urshifu, but switching into close combats at least. Defensively, it's a very solid defensive core. You got your Fairy Dragon Steel at the top, and you got also Crocodile to eat those electric type attacks that honestly, just a solid 4. Also, you got Moltres for physical attacks. I think mostly what it's going to be is you're going to see a lot of Moltres. They're going to bring Moltres a lot because if you look at like other teams, like on a rain team, you know, there's a Superior. On what team is that? On LGL, they got Mamoswine, they got Mimikyu, who can obviously burn a Flame Body.
We got a Breloom.
I can see this coming almost every week because Moltres is honestly just one of those picks that a lot of people like to draft strong physical attackers, especially in a format where, you know, there aren't the best like answers to things like those because, you know, we have like Megas, like Mega Lopunny's I guess one of their guys, but you know, we have Mega Lopunny, Mega Altaria, and Moltres is going to love to burn those things with Flame Body. Moltres is just a very solid pick. Also play with Crocodile. Obviously, they're great pivots for each other. Crocodile can eat those rock type or electric type attacks Moltres doesn't want to take. The only thing that they're both weak to, I guess, is water. That's why you have a water absorb potentially Lantern. You have a Latias, there's just that. But yeah, so on the defensive side, I mean, in terms of healing, they have Moltres and Scissor, and then I guess Tapu Koko gets Roost. So it's in terms of like longevity, it's not the most. Latias gets Roost too. Yeah, it should be fine. This team is just very solid defensively. And offensively, I feel like how they're going to play this team is they're just going to be defensive like almost the entire time. And every once in a while, they're just going to, you know, have a chance to go into one of their offensive mons like Tapu Koko or even just Lopunny and just literally get a kill.
Hunter.
Or Hunter, yeah. They're definitely a very strong team. This is definitely one of their better teams. I think it's definitely all the guys pair really well with each other defensively, and they also pair really well with Lopunny, being able to break up things that Lopunny has trouble with. Even though Lopunny doesn't have trouble with much in this format, but when he does have trouble with something, you know, you have Tapu Koko to go in on it, and you know, can kind of get momentum and Volt Switch out back into Lopunny, and just keep bringing in Lopunny and getting kills. Just very very strong team. I don't really. Well, Kevin, let's see what you think about it, and then maybe we'll see some downsides if there are any.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a bunch of quirky mons on this team.
Quirky?
It's just really quirky.
It's not that quirky.
Yeah, well, okay, so...
Actually, if they were by themselves, they'd be quirky, but because they're together, they're not quirky, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, that's kind of like... No, but that's like their draft style, so like I can't...
No, it is. But like this is like, it's better because they really pair... Like, Latias is a bit quirky, Scissor's a bit quirky. But Latias plus Scissor, that just looks like a normal, you know, Gen 7 OU team. So.
Truth.
You.
I like this team. I think there's a lot of nice low-tier picks. You kind of covered most of it. I think I want to highlight Diancie. Diancie's such a good tier 4 pick. Because
you always talk about Diancie, bro. You want to fuck that
dude,
up.
It's good. Like, okay. Base 150s on both defense stats.
Base 50 HP.
It's insane.
Base 50
but but it's still like very bulky.
Yeah.
And then what people forget about is the base 100 attacking stats, which means that you can be really bulky and you can hit pretty hard with Diamond Storm as well. You also I don't know if you talked about Shiinotic. I think Shiinotic is a demon tier 5 because you get Spore and Strength Sap. So Strength Sap basically lets you 1v1 like a shit ton of offensive Pokemon, and obviously Spore is like Spore, right? So I think that's actually going to come to quite a few games, in my opinion. Other than that, I kind of agree with your analysis, where it's just a bunch of like fairly bulky Pokemon, but there's no like dedicated wall, but they're all really bulky enough to the point where like it works. And I think they like against most matchups, they'll probably have an answer for every offensive threat on the opposing team. And then kind of like you said, they're going to take like, there's only going to be a few opportunities, but I think that Koko, Lopunny, and Haunter can capitalize pretty well.
I mean, it's just a really solid balanced team. Like, and I can't see weaknesses with it. Like, they have good speed tiers.
A bunch of quirky motherfuckers.
Yeah, they have good speed tiers. They have good mix of physical and special attackers. They have good mixes of sweepers, cleaners, setup sweepers. They have good roll coverage and everything else. You know, they have a hazard control and defog on 3 guys actually, on 4 guys. Right? They also get it, right? Like Tapu Koko, Latias,
Scissor, Latias, Moltres.
Yeah. So 4 potential defoggers. Also, I mean, considering it's draft, You want some versatility on your Mons, or you just want Mons that are like just really strong at what they do. You have Lopunny, who's obviously really strong at what it does, and just blast through teams. Then all of his defensive Mons or offensive. I mean, they can be run either, right? Crocodile could be offensive or defensive. Moltres is usually defensive. Scissor could be offensive or defensive. It could be Bandit. It could be Setup. It could be Spadef, Roost. Latias can either be physically or offensive or defensive. Calm Mind, Sword Power. Just bulky Roost, Heal Wish. And Tapu Koko can of course do screens and Roost. It could do Specs. It could even do Banded. So they have a lot of versatility, a lot of role coverage, a lot of great synergy with each other. And yeah, I mean they recently kind of started making a big comeback, and I feel like this season or this trimester they'll definitely have the potential to rise to the top even. I think this team is definitely at least a 9 out of 10. Very solid 9 out of 10 at least.
8.5.
Name one thing wrong with it. Name one problem.
It's too quirky.
It's not, dude. Look, Latias and Scissor. That's not quirky at all. They look perfect together. Crook and Moltres. Also, that's great. Moltres was an OU staple in like early genning.
Yeah, but it's just like I don't know. They do a lot of stuff, but they're not like impressive on their own. Like Latias, I think.
Wow, no way. It's almost as if they fit together
Latias,
as a team.
bro. Latias sucks balls.
That's fair. No,
not even worth a tier 2 pick.
Yeah, I mean, Latias is fine. It's just that
like Moltres.
They definitely don't.
Okay, yeah, it's good defensively when you resist a hit. When you don't resist a hit, you're taking like 50%.
Not necessarily.
Diancie, like I'm a big fan of them on no recovery. Lantern's good as a tier 4.
I think Kevin has a bias against Latias. I mean, a fair bias because it didn't do shit for him when he played with it. But yeah, I mean, I do agree with what he said though. Like all the Mons on their own don't do much besides Lopunny. Like they're not super threatening. Besides Lopunny. But I mean, once again, it's debatable of whether that or not that even matters because you're bringing 6 Pokemon to a match, and these 6 Pokemon will always be able to pair well and cover for each other's weaknesses. But yeah, I want to give it a 9.5 even, but I think 9 is fair for them. I'm not giving this an 8.5. This is getting a 9.
All right, fine. I'll cave in. I'll give it a 9.
All right, now we got a DMT. So what do you think about their team, Kevin?
Yeah. So I'll just run through it. So Zygarde, Boo, Slowbro, Chandelure, Inteleon, Aerodactyl, Skuntank, Rotom-Fan, Mawile, and Abomasnow. I actually really like this team a lot. I'll specify. I like part of this team a lot, and the other part I'm like kind of iffy on.
Mm-hmm.
The part that I like a lot is absolutely demonic, and that's Zygarde 50 plus Tapu Bulu. I think Zygarde 50 is sometimes overrated and then also sometimes underrated as a tier 1.
Yeah.
But I think when you pair it with Grassy Terrain, it's like insanely good.
Yeah, they were kind of, if you use like Grassy Terrain plus Leftovers plus like Coil, you're unkillable.
Yeah, terrain plus Leftovers plus Sub plus Glare, that is like that can be unbeatable in some matchups. Like straight up. Like that's demonic. Bulu as a tier 2 is always a great pick. Always a big fan of that guy. Slowbro. Then we kind of get to the tier 3s, and it's like, okay, Chandelure is cool. Not too big of a fan of it because it's kind of slow, but I can see why they picked it. I mean, like 145 base special attack can't really laugh at that. It's basically Blacephalon light. Inteleon is just ugly ass motherfucker, bro. Like I don't have much to say about that thing, but it does hit hard, so I'll give that to them. Aerodactyl is a tier 4. I mean, it's good. Set rocks. I don't really know what else Aerodactyl does, but yeah, I guess it's good. I guess Skuntank is a great psychic wall, and it can like poison stuff and set T-Spikes, I guess, and pursuit ghosts. Mm-hmm. Rotom-Fan is tier 5 for a reason, I guess. It's Rotom-Fan. Volt Switch and Air Slash stuff. Mawile pairs nicely with Grassy Terrain, which is cool. I actually think Abomasnow is kind of like anti-synergy here because Hail will counteract terrain healing. But I think Abomasnow does get Grassy Glide, which is cool.
Oh, true. Very true. Yeah, no, I agree with what you said for the most part. His top tiers are pretty. They're a good pairing. Zygarde 50, Tapu Bulu, Slowbro. Obviously, Slowbro is a great physical wall, and paired with Tapu Bulu just to eliminate the possibility of strong earthquakes, it's just very strong. They don't have a good special wall to match that Slowbro, which is kind of disappointing. I feel like if they...
I guess it's the closest thing is Skun Tank. Dude, like, put an AV on it. It's not bad.
Put an AV on it, it gets like... It gets 2-hit KO by Specs Lele with rocks. Like... Yeah, I would have appreciated a special wall. I feel like maybe getting rid of Inteleon for a special wall and then having like a fast tier 4.
Dude, they should have drafted. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
No, I think they should have. Actually, yeah, Inteleon should have been a special wall. I'm not gonna bait.
Yeah, and
you already have Chandelure as your special attacker.
Yeah, and then maybe you
should
get
that ugly ass lizard
to
out of
match
here.
like their Aerodactyl speed, but like a special attacker that's fast. Kind of like Inteleon, but a tier 4. But yeah, that would have been a lot better. But like, that asks like, what's their switching to our Cephalon, Shadow Ball?
Skun Tank.
Well, I guess that's Pursuit. So maybe Cephalon actually it's fine against, but like, what are they doing, dude? What are they doing versus a Specs type of Vini?
That's true.
What are they doing versus a like Life Orb Dragapult with U-turn? Damn.
You just kind of got to play around it, man.
They do got to play around it. But yeah, so obviously that's the biggest weakness of the team, the special wall, as well as their speed tiers are a bit iffy. Zygarde, of course, is a good speed tier, and then in terms of things faster than it, you got Inteleon, which is fine, and then Aerodactyl, which is, I mean, a pretty shit mon, but, whatever. Their main attackers...
Yeah, Arrows, what is it? Like, Arrows 130, Inteleon is like, I'm gonna guess like 110, something like that, right?
I think in terms of like, their main threats, in terms of speed tiers, like Inteleon's fine. Inteleon,
yeah.
Zygarde, but then like there are other like strong physical attackers. You got Bulu and Mawile who are pretty slow, and then Chandelure is a strong special breaker who is also only base 80, which is not too impressive. Like most of their fast mons can't deal much damage, and by that I just mean like Golden Fan, Aerodactyl. Inteleon can do actually a pretty good amount of damage. So Inteleon's actually. It's usually a pretty good pick, I actually think, but even though many people don't draft it, but in this context, I feel like a special wall would be much better here.
I would have rather had a bulkier Pokemon.
Yeah, especially the fact that you have like your first 3 Pokemon are Zygarde, Bulu, and Slowbro. That's already like almost a perfect. That's definitely like already a perfect core on like the physical attack side, and it's also like really strong as well. You just need some things to complement that, like faster speed tiers, as well as special wall. And they kind of did it in the wrong order. Like, they got Inteleon, which I feel like, get rid of Aerodactyl or Skun Tank and put something like that there. But yeah. I do want to say that the grassy terrain does pair well, besides with Zygarde and Slowbro, obviously. It does pair well with Mega Mawile, right? So it can eat those ground-type attacks.
Yeah, it's good Mawile.
Yeah, as well as Skun Tank. And like you said, Abomasnow does get Grassy Guy, which probably won't come into play, but there's a chance that they maybe bring it 1 week and catch someone off guard and get a kill with it. Overall, the team is definitely very threatening. They have, in terms of the physical side, like their breakers are very scary, as well as their setup sweepers, and they can just kind of fuck you over with glare and shit. And in terms of special breakers, they do have Chandelure. So if you don't want to switch into that thing can get a kill every time, and you better hope you have a revenge killer for it, because if you don't, I mean, it's not too difficult, right? You just gotta add something that outspeeds the base 80. They could definitely, if it has a Scarf maybe, it could definitely snowball. As well as with like Inteleon. Inteleon can also like use Focus Energy or some shit with a Snipe Shot, and it can definitely clean up games. So you gotta be careful when playing this team. You don't want to let your team get weakened for an Inteleon sweep, for a Zygarde DD sweep, or for a Mawile Sucker Punch sweep. So they're definitely threatening. As long as you pay attention during team building, though, there's definitely ways to exploit this team's weaknesses. Like maybe just strong special attackers that don't get trapped by Pursuit and don't fall over to Mawile Sucker Punches. But yeah, it's definitely a solid team. I definitely say I'm not giving it above an 8. I'm also not giving it below a 6. It's 6, 7, or 8 probably, right?
Dude, I'm giving it a 7.
7?
I just no. Actually, you know what? 7.5.
Yeah, I agree. I think 7.5 is good.
Zygarde is gonna go on Demon Time, bro.
Yeah, 7.5 is solid. That Zygarde is gonna be as bulky as Zygarde 100%, bro. Essentially.
Dude, honestly.
All right. We got Parasectic Functions. They got They got a team. They certainly have a team.
They certainly have a team of all time.
It certainly is a team of all time. They have Jirachi, Dracozolt, Togekiss, Nidoking, Gigalith, Jellicent, Lilligant, Dunsparce, Mega Alakazam, and Sandslash. So obviously they have the Sand Core, right? Gigalith, Sandslash, and Dracozolt. Pretty solid.
Sandsetter.
Sandsetter. And they obviously have a shit ton of Serene Grace mons, if you didn't notice. Jirachi, Togekiss, and Dunsparce, all Serene Grace. As well as Mega Alakazam if it copies something that has Serene Grace. Yeah, in terms of an actual team, I feel like it could definitely have been better. Like,
I think it is kind of a meme team.
It is a bit of a meme team. I think like getting like obviously a Jirachi for Serene Grace, but I don't see a Jirachi fits in this team. I mean, it's not. There's definitely worse teams it could have been on, but I feel like Jirachi usually is pretty underwhelming. So you're not going to want it as a tier 1 unless like it really complements your team, which I don't think it really does here. Especially because like, yeah, it just doesn't. They have a slow team for the most part. Besides of course Dracozolt with Sand and Mega Alakazam, and of course Sandslash with Sand.
Yeah, I mean, like, Rachi's base 100. It's not bad. Put a Scarf on it.
Rachi's base 100, yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, like, Scarf Rachi, usually going to want to use Iron Head and flinch shit down, but, like, I feel like that's not good in this team, just because you already have, like, Gigalith, Dracozolt, like, a lot of pretty strong physical attackers, who, you know, hit, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel
I
like
also think...
the weak Iron Heads aren't going to be doing shit.
But I think a big part of this team, just looking at it, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but there's a lot of para flinching going on.
It's Serene Grace, bro.
No, but I'm saying like Jirachi can like body slam, and then Dunsparce. Does it have glare?
Yeah, it's glare.
And then you have like a bunch of like flinching moves. So
yeah. Serene Grace, bro. Unless you're like, what Pokemon are you talking about besides the Serene Grace guys? And don't say Gigalith because it's not flinching shit with its base. Sand/Slash Rock Slide do like 20% to like fucking.
No, but I'm saying like paralyzing is speed control.
Crobat. Yeah, but I mean, no shit. Like a lot of Serene Grace mons do that shit. I guess the Body Slam plus Glare is pretty good, but yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's nothing too... Like, I feel like once you basically beat Dracozolt and Mega Alakazam, once you do that, you pretty much win the game as long as you don't get hacks. Like, you just have to play around the bullshit of Togekiss and Jirachi and stuff, and then you win. Which could be annoying considering how much bullshit the team has.
Sandslash, bro?
Yeah, what do you got for well-played Sandslash, bro? Sandslash is cool. But yeah, I mean, I feel like in terms of big damage dealers, it's Dracozolt and Alakazam, and everything else just hits like not very hard. I mean, I guess technically it does, but yeah.
I don't have too much to say about it. I think there could have been some better picks here and there, but I mean, I think they weren't really taking this one too seriously. I
mean, that's what they always kind of draft memes sometimes, but every once in a while.
I guess so. I don't think Lilligant could have been a little bit better. Like, I don't really know what that does.
I think it's just a grass type to complement the Jellicent, maybe.
I guess. I don't know if there's any better grass types. Yeah, there are better grass types in Tier 4. There's like Decidueye, Dhelmise.
Dhelmise is good, yeah. Well, I would have added to their... I think you want Lilligant just because, one, doesn't add to the Dark weakness and Ghost weakness. Two, it's not super slow and also gets Quiver Dance to kind of be more threatening. I mean, Dhelmise is pretty threatening.
Okay.
But, you know, it's
Alright, I'll give it to them. I don't have much else to say about it.
Yeah, it's just not very scary. You have Alakazam, Dracozolt, and after that, it's not very scary. Like, if you have a hard switch in, if you have a counter to Alakazam and Dracozolt, all you have to do is like not get hacks, and you probably guaranteed win.
Exactly. I'll give like a 6.
Yeah, 6 or 7. Should we do 6.5?
Wait, okay. You have to ask. Is it better or worse than ours?
I think it's worse, but I think it's still 6.5.
So the same.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Mega Alakazam is super threatening, and you know, usually they draft good mons that kind of complement it. This is the only time where they really don't. The only thing that complements it is just the fact that he has a lot of physical attackers. But even then, like Dracozolt a lot of times runs mixed, so.
I mean, I can see this doing well. Like, you
Could,
have to take
obviously.
sand seriously.
Yeah, it
No,
definitely.
you have to take sand seriously anytime.
Yeah,
Anytime there's
definitely.
sand.
Yeah. And also, it's PSF, so they can make anything work. So.
Yeah, it's camel, dude.
Yeah. I want to see some crazy sets.
Nice one?
All right, yeah, go for MSU, bro.
Yeah, so there's another sand team, right? It's like Celesteela, Hippo,
Based Hippo plus
Grimwash.
Stoutland. Based Hippo plus Stoutland.
Yeah. Crobat, Yanchow, Quillfish, Archeops, Stoutland, Altaria Mega, Delphox.
My face
Overall,
when the
not too
Archeops
high.
and Sand doesn't get put into fetus by the Cephalon Flamethrower.
Dude, I was about to say.
Archeops Sand go
Overall,
crazy.
I'm not like too high on this team. Like, I like it.
Can we get much higher?
There's no like dedicated core, I'd say.
Kevin, you're not high on
There's
anything, bro.
there's no like firewater grass.
What's high?
I don't think there's a. I mean, there's kind of. Yeah, there's no fairy dragon steel either. There's 3 flying types, which I'm not a big fan of. And then the only electric resists are Hippo and Altaria, right? That's about it. So kind of weak to like electric spam if you get rid of Hippo.
Screens Coco's gonna go crazy on them.
Yeah. Coco will go crazy on. Celesteela, I think, is a really good tier 1. I mean, he's an ugly motherfucker, but I mean, you can't discount the fact that it's super good in draft because you can like spam a bunch of different sets with it and like beast boost a bunch of different stats. It gets meteor beam now, so they can sweep with that. Of course, they have Stoutland. Defensively, it's like there's no special wall, which is a little concerning, unless you do special Hippo or put an assault vest on something. I guess you can use Celesteela as a specialty defensive Pokemon. But yeah, it's a very, I don't know. It's like it's good.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a very standard MSU team. It's a very standard Dirt team.
I was about to say it's a very
yes,
standard
it
MSU
is.
team, but I say that all the time. So
Yeah, we say. Well, let's see. Honestly, are these teams all standard? Okay, we've been drafting some crazy shit, so I wouldn't really say standard CRD. We have standard core team. We have pretty standard DTD team, but definitely better.
yeah,
It's definitely much better. The DMT is kind of standard. I mean, the Skuntank, Mega Mawile, Inteleon looks like it fits on a DMT team.
so it's a very DMT like team.
Yeah, PSF drafting cringe. So yeah, I mean that's PSF. This is an MSU team. PBR team. I mean, it's Rain, so you know it's kind of a trivial one. And then oh yeah, we'll talk about the LGL team.
Yeah, we'll get to that one.
Dude, Kevin, after the draft, Kevin DM'd me and he's like, yo, look at LG. This is the most LGL team I've ever seen. But yeah, I think this is definitely a direct upgrade from last trimester. I think they learned their lesson because they had their team looked super threatening. They had like Slowbro and Corviknight. But the thing is, like, they're both very one-dimensional. So they aren't as good in draft as they are maybe on like an OU team. Like for example, like Corviknight can maybe usually tank like a physical fighting types attacks, right? But I mean, if you're playing in draft and you're facing a Corviknight, you're probably only going to bring your physical fighting type with like a choice band if you're facing the Corviknight, right? So you're going to be able to break through it. Like people know the walls are coming, and they know that the walls.
They were spamming a lot of offensive Corviknight last season.
Were they? Oh, with like body.
Yeah,
with
like power trip sets.
Ooh,
Power trip.
Were these power trip? I saw some body press. Were these some power trip?
3 times. Yeah, there's some body press sets.
Cool.
Some
Yeah, I mean that's the most
sets.
that's the most versatility Corviknight really gets. Like what
Yeah,
else? Like
it's- I
fucking
don't
choice
think-
band Brave Bird take like 30% when you kill a grass.
Yeah, I think Celesteela is like
it's an upgrade.
hands down direct upgrade.
Yes. At least
Corviknight.
on this team
Yeah.
and in this format.
No, just in general, I hate that bird.
It's Celestial doesn't get recovery. Corviknight does. So that's already something big. Corviknight definitely has its advantages.
Bro, Celesteela gets leech, dude.
Does get
Sit
leech seed. Okay.
I hate that bird.
The leech seed actually is going to pair super nicely with Hippo and Rotom and all those other guys. I think Crobat. I love the Crobat pick here. Crobat's one of those guys where it's not that good unless like you know how to use it and you can fit it on the team. I think it fits really well on this team pairing with the Celesteela, Hippo, Rotom mini core. And I feel like Derp seems like the kind of guy who knows how to use a Crobat. You know, like I mean he plays those weird tiers. You know, so he knows his way around dimensional mons. I feel like he definitely is going to be a pro Crobat player. We're going to see him using Super Fang. We're going to see him getting that thing.
Dude, we're gonna see them running like Taunt Super Fang.
We're going to see Taunt Super Fang, Max Spadef, like fucking being a Tapu Lele switch in, because the Tapu Lele just keeps specs Moonblast in the entire team, and then Crobat comes in and it takes like 20% because like it's just super bulky. Like, yeah, Mienshao also.
No, they're gonna be running some like Choice Band Brave Bird shit. You already know.
I think they'll play more defensive. I trust.
No, they have to. They have to. They have to. They have to.
Why do they have to?
Because there's no special defense on this team.
Wait, what do you mean?
I mean, like, there's no special defense. Besides sand boosted Archeops.
I mean, all of his guys are mixed defense besides Hippo, right? Like all his defense.
Okay, that's fair.
Like
Altaria, I'll give it to him. I'll give it to him.
That's fair.
I'll give it to him.
Also, let me just say, I don't think people know this yet because obviously we have a new guy who replaced Perk. Perk was here for like 1 week after he got 6-0 by Kevin and left. So I guess he's really replacing Axel. But the new guy, Gay Skeletor, is a very solid player. Actually, he's the president of his own draft league, and I think MSU has a very good shot at making playoffs. And I think I believe Gay Skeletor will. It's so funny saying that name. Will do a good job at using this team. Hopefully, he knows how to use his Crobat. If he knows his way around a Crobat, it's over, bro. It's over.
True. Crobat is a high skill though.
Okay, they're both poison types, but like Quillfish is also pretty cool. Yeah, I think this team looks very solid. They got their speed tiers. They got a good defensive core in terms of type synergy. As Kevin said, there isn't a dedicated special wall to match Hippo's physical wall, but it's not that big a deal because all of his guys, like Altaria and Rotom Wash and Celesteela, could all run Spadef if they want. Even Hippo could technically run Spadef. You can see Spadef Crobat or AV Mienshao if you wanted. Yeah, definitely very, very solid team. I think the only downside is if they're facing off against like a super, super bulky team, I feel like they're not going to have enough ways to break it.
Taunt Super Fang.
Yeah, Taunt Super Fang. Yeah. Besides that, they don't have too many ways to break things. Like they have Altaria and Delphox and maybe Mienshao, but they just don't have the biggest damage output against.
You can blow something up with like Z Hyper Beam.
Z Hyper Beam on who?
Delphox.
Why Z Hyper Beam? Why not just like Z Psychic? Or Flame?
I don't know. Moving on.
Man's acting like this is a fucking Spectre. Yeah, they're super solid. I think we give it definitely higher than a 7. Maybe an 8.
I'll give it like a 7.5.
We can give it a 7.5. I think that's fair. I give it an 8, but I'm fine with giving it a 7.5.
Bet.
Oops. Alright. I'm up. Okay. We got PBR. Pittsburgh Veggie Steelers. I fucked up the draft. Wait, hold up. There we go. It's fixed. Okay. And once again, bringing rain. But this is actually the first trimester where they're not really focusing on it. They have Barraskewda, right? So that's why they have to keep drafting rain for the most part, just to help their Barraskewda. So they got Politoed, great rain setter. Politoed, Barraskewda, Thundurus, who can fire off some thunders, which is very good. I really like what they did this trimester. First of all, just not focusing on, like, if they focused on rain again, they could have, but like, I feel like it's obviously very still at this point. Now I feel like they wouldn't want to. But they definitely got enough rain to where it's like a rain core, but like it's a very solid like self-contained rain core. Like I feel like a lot of times teams might draft like rain, but like they don't have enough for it, and it's kind of like a mini rain core, but like it's not really complete. This is a complete rain core. You got the rain setter, you got a very strong physical attacker, you got a very strong special attacker, and you also got Adron who appreciates the fire, and Superior who appreciates the fire weakness or the fire weakened from the rain. Yeah, it's definitely a very good self-contained rain core. I think it's like one of the best rain cores you can get with these tiers and only using like 4 mons or something. Besides their rain core, they obviously have some bulky building when they got Florges. Very good special wall. Also Ardino, who also has a special wall. It's a bit redundant, but I think it's fine if they have good physical walls.
Ardino's kind of both.
Well, is it? I guess you can still run
equal defenses. So technically.
But what is it? Well, it's like 105 Spadef, right? What's his Spadef? Do you know? Or I'm just making it up. Well, no, it has a big HP stat actually, right? And let me see its stats actually. I'm curious.
The 86 defense. Yeah, they're equal. 86 defense, 86 FBA.
Oh, really? Okay. And then what's his HP? Like 106 or something?
103.
103. Okay. Yeah, on the defensive side, they don't have as much. Like they got Mudsdale, and they got Hitmontop, which is definitely good. And I guess if you add them up, I guess they can equal a Florges.
Oh, whoa. Aggron.
Oh, Aggron. True. My bad.
Ignores the Mon with like 180 defense.
He was out of my mind, bro. He was like, I'm like, okay, that's the Rain Core, I'm focusing on those other guys. But yeah, Aggron's fine. And then, of course, their Dragon type is more offensive. It's Dragapult. It's very good on this team, right? It gives them a speed tier. Yeah, Dragapants. It gives them a great speed tier to match with, Thundy and Serperior and Barraskewda. Yeah, I mean, offensively, this team is very strong. Defensively, it's also pretty strong. Their self-contained raid core is amazing, and the other mons they have are actually great, and they match it as well. I think Serperior is great on this team because their water types. Let's say you have like a Ferrothorn, for instance. Barraskewda and Thundurus will be weakening it. Like it's gonna be weakened by Barraskewda just liquidating in rain, Thundurus thundering, Fire of Thunders, and then at some point Serperior can come in and just fire off these storms. Yeah, I mean, it's just very good. I mean, that's obviously, the standard fire, water, grass synergy, but with no fire type because, they are running rain. Overall, very, very strong team. I don't even see any real weaknesses in it besides, maybe, I guess, a better water resist, right? Because obviously, as a rain team, if they're up against a water type that can kind of eat hits and then fire off a rain boosted, like, Scald or something, it's going to hurt. They're switching as Politoed, and then I guess Serperior, who they have to run bulky that week if they want it to be good switching, but otherwise, I guess the way I'd maybe fix this team is, I wouldn't say get rid of. I like Mudsdale. Like maybe get rid of Hitmontop or Audino for a physical defensive water resist if there exists one. Like
I would tell them to get rid of Audino because we wanted that shit.
Yeah, fair. I'm obviously Jellicent's also taken, but if Jellicent wasn't taken, I'm not even sure when it got taken. Jellicent instead of Hitmontop would have been perfect. Besides that, this team is definitely super solid. One of the best spraying teams I've seen in FBA.
Yeah, I think there could have been like a bulkier grass type, maybe like Delmise.
Well,
I don't know why I'm thinking of Delmise.
You are. I mean, Jellicent.
Okay. If you took out Mega Aggron and you put in a Ferrothorn, that would have been like crazy.
Yeah, if you just had 2 tier 1s, that would have been crazy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
In theory, I guess. I mean, I don't know, like. The grass type I see.
I think it's team.
Well, I think a bulky water would have been better. Like bulky grass would have been good, but bulky water would have been better. And I think that's where you say Jellicent, right?
I know, but it's just weird having a bulky water on rain.
I guess, but I mean, the alternative, like where are you putting that bulky grass? Like in practice, obviously in theory you said Ferrothorn, but in practice where would it go? Like I like the Dragapult, I like the.
Like a tier 4.
I guess tier 4 instead of Hitmontop for Jellicent, Hitmontop for like a bulky grass if there's a good one in tier 4. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Okay, what are we thinking? I want to give this like an 8.
Yeah, I agree. 8. I mean, I agree it's an 8, right? We should probably justify it. So what's the reason why we're not going to make something higher?
I don't think it's... I think there could have been... Okay, I don't think it's above an 8, or at least it's less than a 9. Because if you compare it to the DTD, I think there could have been a bit more synergistic-ish type thingies going on in the team a little bit.
I guess. I mean, in terms of the roll compression and just roll spread, they got everything. I think a big problem with this team is its longevity is good, but some things let's say you're facing a team that's
Actually, no, it has really good longevity.
It actually is. Okay, it's good longevity.
They have two really good wish passers.
They do. Well, I struggle calling.
Okay, why is this not a problem 8?
I struggle calling a tier 5 a really good wish passer, but whatever.
Oh well, okay, but at least they have forges. So.
They do. I don't see they have a lot of strong Pokemon. Dragapult's strong, Serperior's strong, Thundurus is strong, Barraskewda and Rain is strong. I don't see a Pokemon that's absurdly strong though. Which I think
to me, Dragapult is kind of a little bit of an oddball on this team.
No, I think it looks. I think it works well. I mean, I guess it's not maybe. It's not perfect.
It's not perfect.
Yeah, it's not perfect. I mean, you do have Serp and Thundurus for your speed tiers, but I don't know who would have been better. Who else? Garchomp would probably be better just for the extra bulk to kind of match your bulky fairy, your Dragon and Steel. But besides,
I don't even know.
Yeah, I think Dragapult's fine. Maybe
All right, you know what? Let's give it an 8.5.
Okay, then but then we still gotta justify it. Like, why aren't we giving it higher?
All right. Well, I'll let you do the rating for this one because I don't.
Oh, thanks, Kevin. No, I mean, obviously we do think like there's definitely some not problems, but some things that aren't perfect. It's kind of hard to put a finger on it. I mean, one of the things that I'm kind of thinking of is I was kind of saying like there isn't a single Pokemon on this team that is like is a certified wall breaker, right? Like sure, Thundurus can fire off Thunders.
I think Serp kind of.
Well, Serp's more of a Serp's a stall breaker, right? But it's not a good wall breaker because
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, like
yeah.
it takes time to power up.
The only thing I can see is like you have to put like a choice on Dragapult or Thundy to wall break.
Yeah.
So that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Or I mean, Bearskewed not really either.
I feel like Amoonguss, like any regenerator Pokemon, but especially Amoonguss, switches into Serp.
Oh, actually, Amoonguss would have been sick on this team.
Yeah. But what's even better is how it faces against this team. It switches into Aggron. It switches into Barraskewda. It switches into every single Pokemon, right? Besides like maybe Gyarados, like it still does. Like, what
yeah, it kind of does. I don't know.
I think obviously rain teams, you know, they're water types, right? So they don't like grass types. So you need some stuff for that. I feel like a flying, like if Thundurus had flying stab, it'd obviously be perfect.
Yeah.
I think
the problem with Thundurus here is that it doesn't have Hurricane.
Yeah. But Thundurus is still a good pick. So, like, what kind of flying mon could they have gotten?
Zapdos. Obviously.
Zapdos again as a tier. Yeah, but
Zapdos. Okay, so
I think
to mind.
I like Thundurus here.
The two that come to mind are Zapdos and Salamence.
Mence would have been cool, but Mence would have been alright. What about like a Talonflame for like Banded Brave Birds?
You're gonna put Talonflame on a rain team?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Talonflame half the time only uses its Brave Birds anyway.
Bro, Talonflame is weak as shite, bro.
It is weak, but I mean it's a base 120 move, the choice spam, so that's why it doesn't seem as weak.
I mean, you could spam like Gale Wings.
Oh, you know what? I would have loved. Obviously, someone else has it. Rotom Fan as their tier 5. That'd have been sick.
No.
Wait, does it get hurt? A Hurricane?
No.
what do you mean?
It just gets Air Slide.
Oh. Wait, why?
Tier 5, bro.
Rotom Frost gets Blizzard. Why does Rotom Fan get Hurricane?
Because Rotom Fan was made in Gen 4.
Oh. Okay, well then, scratch that. What's a mon that gets Hurricane? That's like decent, or like maybe a tier 4. Whatever, do it. Practically, maybe we can't right now think of a good way to fix this team, but like in theory, there definitely is ways to make this team better. Mainly because like
doesn't Decidueye get Hurricane?
Shut the. Who the fuck cares?
Dude, it's a tier 4. You were like, oh, let's look at a tier 4.
I was talking about a stab Hurricane.
Alright, it's an 8.5.
It's an 8.5.
This argument proves that it's an 8.5 at best.
Yeah, no, just because of the fact that, like, Amoonguss, right? Amoonguss just shuts out the entire team. So I think that's fair. It sucks. Last team, LGL. Kevin, talk to the boys about how this is the most LGL team you've ever seen.
This is the most LGL team. Alright, they got Tapu Fini, Amaswine, Mimikyu, Muck Alola, Cobalion, Dog Shitmon, by the way. That's all I'm gonna say.
True.
Horrible Pokemon. Charizard, Rotom Frost, Pikachu.
Who the fuck said Keldeo is better, or this was better than Keldeo? Whoever said that's dumb as shit.
Yeah, whoever said that, we got a bone to pick with you.
Whoever said that, like, I don't know what's stupider, that statement or drafting Dusknoir. Like, I can't.
And Mechaseptile and Annabelle. Alright, let me tell you why this is the most LGL team ever drafted.
It just is, that's why.
First of all, there are two Pikachu-like mons. Pikachu and Mimikyu.
Okay. Let him cook.
They drafted Misty Terrain, right? And they got a Poison Touch Muck Alolan.
What the fuck does that mean?
And they have a Sceptile Mega that gets Dragon type moves debuffed.
Okay.
They have a Cobalion in this team. That's enough. And the tier 4s are Charizard and Rotom Frost.
They tier 4s are Charizard and Random Frost. That is super true. I don't see how the fact that they have Misty Terrain that weakens some of their shit is relevant to the fact that this is a very LGL team.
It's just a very LGL team.
Well, let me ask you this. Is Rotom Frost a more LGL or a less LGL pick than the Glaceon they had last trimester?
Dude, Glaceon was based.
Well, but is that
Rotom
LGL?
Frost hits. Rotom Frost attacks with Blizzard and misses. Alright, at least Glaceon gets Freeze Dry.
Uh-huh. It sounds like you're equating LGL... Let me clear up a clarification. It sounds like you're equating LGL teams with being bad. Well, okay,
Yes,
okay. Let me clear up another
they go
clarification.
like 8-0.
Let me clear up another clarification. Okay, it isn't that LGL teams... Okay, LGL teams are coincidentally bad, but that's not the identifying factor in an LGL team. They just draft... Okay, they draft quirky mons who don't fit well together, and they... Almost like a core team, but like even less synergy than a core team, and it just kind of... They make it work somehow. Now, I don't know if it's because they're good players, which they are good players, or if it's that, like, they just have, like, some sort of third eye that, like, sees in the fourth dimension, and, like, in our 3 dimensions, these mons don't fit well together, but in the 4th dimension, like, they're fucking, like, linked spiritually in the 4th dimension, and we just can't see it, like, you know? I don't... They're just a team of all time, bro. They're just a team
Yeah, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
How many times did they bring Mega Sceptile last season?
I think every time they were considering it, Pikachu took its spot instead. They had a tier 5, took their Mega spot, bro. That's a Mega Pikachu right there, bro. That light ball is a Mega Stone. Like that ass, bro.
Okay.
Dude, I can't wait. Who is it that wants Charizard? Is it Zeta Ice? I think it's Zeta Ice. They do like a trade, like I think I saw, where like Memo really wants Pikachu, and Zeta is like, well, I really want Charizard.
No, it wasn't MPG.
Oh, was it MPG? Okay, and that's what they do. But like, MPG, man, what the fuck's Charizard doing? Pikachu's actually doing his shit, bro. Pikachu's going crazy. Your Charizard's slacking, bro.
No, I think the Charizard did some stuff.
Well, there was 1 week where I think it did some stuff. It like did some setup shit.
Oh yeah, there was 1 week where it Dragon Danced and swept. That was a cool week.
But besides that, like, it's not... Pikachu's going absolutely crazy. Like, Pikachu just fucking whipped out a huge cock in his fucking entire... Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I had to say, because it's like, what's happening?
I have been impressed by their usage of Pikachu.
Yeah. Like, bro, the fucking Virgin DTD bringing fucking Lopunny Mega every time, their tier 1 Mega, and just killing shit, versus the Chad LGL bringing their tier 5 Pikachu and shitting on the entire game. Like, anyway, what do we even rate this team?
I'm down to give it a 6.
I mean, yeah, objectively, it's not a good team. For those of you who don't know why, like, just look at it. Like, that's all I can say. Like, come on, does that look like a good team to you? That looks like a new player just drafted their favorite mons, like dead ass. Like they drafted Charizard, Pikachu. You know, they actually are a boomer. You know, they played in Gen 3 and they haven't played since. So they chose Sceptile Storm. I'm like, oh shit, it gets a Mega, so they chose that. They chose Alolan Muck because Muck was their favorite Gen 1 Pokemon. They chose Mamoswine because it's cool. Mimikyu is pretty cool as well. Yeah, 6. We say? Is that what we say? 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But once again, our ratings don't necessarily reflect how good they'll do with the team, and that goes super like extra for LGL because like they defied every expectation we've had of them the entire season. Yeah.
True. Shout out LGL.
Shout out LGL. So now let's rank the teams. So obviously number 1 is the only 9 out of 10, which is DTD.
Yeah.
So okay, I don't feel like typing it, whatever. So number 1 is obviously DTD. Number 2 is the 8.5, which is the Rain team, because it's a very solid Rain team.
Shout out Rain team.
Shout out Rain team. Then number 3 is we have 2 7.5s. DMT and MSU. I think we...
I like DMT because that Zygarde core, it's gonna go crazy.
Yeah, I'm also gonna say DMT because I just see there being a lot of scenarios where
Zygarde glares, you get paralyzed, it Dragon Dances, and you fucking die.
True.
Or
I was
or
just
it
gonna
coiled.
say, yeah, I was just gonna say the fact that that MSU, I can see a lot of scenarios besides their stall breaker Crobat. I can see a lot of scenarios.
MSU needs to prove their worthiness by showing how well they use that Crobat.
True. I want to see a well played Crobat here.
I want to see a well played Crobat.
Yeah, I want to see it brought like every game and not dying a single time. Yeah, besides that, like stall breaker Crobat, I feel like there's a lot of teams that can just like out bulk them, not even because they have bulkier mons, but just because these guys just can't like break through it. Like they don't have a special breaker besides like Delphox, I guess.
Factual.
But yeah, like if there's a Tyranitar, how do they break? Oh, okay, they break it with like but whatever. So yeah, it goes DMT, then MSU, then we have 7 out of 10, which is SPR, so good for SPR. Then we have 2 6.5s, and we already said our team we do think is a little bit better than PSF. Then last is LGL. I'm not even gonna say like their team like to build better next time because honestly, just keep doing what you're doing. It's working out somehow. I don't know how, but it is. Yeah. So that's all. That's all we got. Anything else to add, Kevin?
Good job drafting, guys.
Good job drafting.
No,
I honestly think so we've had some very strong drafts this season. Best so far. I feel like this might be the worst trimester in terms of drafts, though. To be honest. Like, LGL is pretty much the same as always. Our team isn't very good, and neither is PSF's draft. MSU is better than usual. DMT is alright. DTD is very good. SPR is pretty much average. It's pretty much average. The rain team's pretty good. So I guess like there's some teams that are like doing a bit better than usual, like SPR, DMT, and MSU. And then we have DTD and the rain team doing a lot better of a draft than I think they usually have. Then we have our team and PSF dragging everyone down being shit. And then LGL is just an awful looking team as always. But yeah, so that's pretty much all we got. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Feel free to leave your discussion or your criticisms of your teams down below in the comments. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.